There comes a moment in every life when the world seems determined to convince us that we are too small for the mountains before us. The obstacles appear endless. The disappointments grow heavy. The voices of doubt become so familiar that they begin to sound like our own. Yet the greatest battle we will ever fight is not against hardship, failure, rejection, or fear. It is the quiet battle that takes place within the chambers of the mind. It is there in the unseen places of thought that victories are first imagined and defeats are first accepted. The mind is a remarkable place. It can become a prison built from yesterday's pain, or it can become a garden where hope grows stronger every morning. The choice is not made once in a lifetime. It is made again and again in ordinary moments when no one is watching. When the only witness to your decision is your own heart. Every person who has overcome impossible odds has discovered one simple truth. Strength is not born when life is easy. Strength is shaped when life demands more than you believed you could give. Courage does not arrive because fear disappears. Courage arrives when you decide that your purpose deserves a louder voice than your fear. You are stronger than every painful chapter you have survived. Think of the storms you once believed would break you. Think of the nights when your tears felt endless. Think of the mornings when getting out of bed seemed like the greatest achievement of the day. Yet here you are. You carried yourself through moments that once looked impossible. You may have walked slowly. You may have stumbled. You may have questioned your own strength. But you kept moving. That is resilience. Training your mind begins by changing the conversation you have with yourself. Too often, people become their own harshest critics. They repeat every mistake, every failure, every embarrassment until those memories become chains around their future. But your past is not your permanent address. It is only a place you visited. You were never meant to build your home there. Imagine speaking to yourself with the same kindness you offer someone you deeply love. Imagine replacing every cruel judgment with patient understanding. Growth becomes possible when your inner voice becomes your greatest source of encouragement instead of your greatest source of defeat. The world will always have opinions about who you should be. Some will try to define your limits before you discover your possibilities. Some will mistake your silence for weakness and your kindness for surrender. But no opinion has the power to shape your destiny unless you welcome it into your own thinking. The strongest walls are not built around your life, they are built around your mind. Guard your thoughts carefully, because they become your beliefs, your choices, and eventually your future. There is extraordinary power in refusing to surrender your peace to circumstances beyond your control. You cannot command every season. You cannot prevent every disappointment. You cannot erase every loss. But you can decide how those experiences shape your spirit. You can choose to let hardship make you wiser instead of bitter, stronger instead of fearful, more compassionate instead of cold. The greatest victories rarely happen all at once. Mountains are climbed one determined step at a time. Rivers carve stone not because they possess great force in a single moment, but because they keep flowing. Your persistence carries more power than perfection ever could. Keep showing up, keep trying, keep believing, even when progress feels invisible. Failure is not evidence that you are incapable. Failure is evidence that you were brave enough to attempt something meaningful. Every setback carries within it a lesson that success alone could never teach. When you stop fearing failure, you begin discovering your true strength. The person who refuses to quit has already accomplished something extraordinary, because perseverance transforms ordinary people into remarkable examples of courage. Do not wait until you feel fearless before taking your next step. Fear is often a companion on every worthwhile journey. Let it walk beside you if it must, but never allow it to hold the map. Your dreams deserve leadership from faith rather than permission from fear. The mind remembers what we repeatedly feed it. If you constantly nourish it with hopelessness, comparison, and regret, those thoughts will grow like weeds. But if you feed it gratitude, hope, discipline, and possibility, your inner life begins to bloom in ways that no storm can destroy. Every day offers another opportunity to choose what will take root within you. Gratitude is not pretending life is perfect. Gratitude is recognizing that even in imperfect circumstances, there are reasons to continue believing in tomorrow. It is the quiet realization that every sunrise is another invitation to begin again. Every breath is another opportunity to choose courage over despair. There will be days when your confidence feels distant. On those days, borrow strength from your memories instead of your emotions. Remember every obstacle you have already overcome. Remember every challenge that once frightened you but now lives only as a story. Those memories are proof that your resilience is not imaginary. It has already carried you farther than you realize. Comparison quietly steals the joy that belongs to your own journey. Someone else's path was never designed for your feet. Your timing is different. Your lessons are different. Your purpose is different. Stop measuring your progress against lives you were never meant to live. Instead, measure yourself against the person you were yesterday. Even the smallest step forward deserves celebration. There is dignity in beginning again. Life does not ask you to be flawless. It asks you to remain willing. Every new attempt is an act of hope. Every lesson learned is another brick in the foundation of lasting strength. The strongest people are not those who have avoided pain. They are those who refuse to let pain become their identity. They understand that suffering may visit every life, but it does not have the authority to define every future. They carry scars without allowing those scars to become chains. Your thoughts become habits. Your habits become character. Your character becomes the story your life tells. Protect your thoughts with wisdom. Fill your days with words that remind you of possibility rather than limitation. Speak life into your own future, even when present circumstances appear uncertain. Discipline often accomplishes what motivation cannot. Feelings rise and fall like waves, but commitment remains steady. Train your mind to keep moving even when inspiration is absent. Greatness is rarely created through occasional moments of excitement. It is built through ordinary days of quiet consistency. Do not underestimate the strength hidden inside small choices. Choosing patience when anger feels easier. Choosing honesty when deception appears convenient. Choosing hope when despair whispers your name. These quiet decisions shape an extraordinary life. You are not powerless because life became difficult. You are powerful because difficulty revealed strength you did not know existed. Every challenge has introduced you to another part of yourself waiting to awaken. Sometimes the greatest gift hidden inside hardship is self-discovery. Believe in the possibility that your greatest chapter has not yet been written. The pages ahead still wait for your courage. The future is listening for the sound of your determination. Let every setback become a sentence in your story rather than the final page. When life asks more of you than seems fair, remember that your spirit has already survived moments you once believed impossible. You have carried hope through disappointment before. You have found light after darkness before. You have rebuilt after loss before. Those victories are not accidents. They are evidence of who you have become. The world changes constantly, but one truth remains steady. A mind trained in courage cannot easily be defeated. Circumstances may delay your progress, but they cannot destroy your purpose unless you surrender it yourself. Hold tightly to your vision. Let your values become your compass when emotions become uncertain. There is remarkable freedom in accepting that not everything deserves your worry. Some battles belong to time. Some answers arrive only after patience has done its quiet work. Release what you cannot control and devote your energy to what you can improve today. Your resilience grows every time you choose perseverance over surrender. It grows every time you rise after disappointment. It grows every time you forgive yourself for not knowing yesterday what you understand today. Growth is not the absence of mistakes. Growth is the willingness to learn from them. Never underestimate the quiet influence of hope. Hope has carried people through deserts of uncertainty. Hope has rebuilt lives after devastating loss. Hope has whispered, "Keep going," when every visible reason suggested stopping. Protect that hope carefully, because it is one of the greatest treasures the human spirit can possess. No obstacle can permanently imprison a mind determined to keep learning, believing, adapting, and rising. Your greatest strength has never depended upon perfect circumstances. It has always lived within your willingness to stand again after every fall. Walk into each new day knowing that courage is not reserved for extraordinary people. It belongs to ordinary people who refuse to give up. Resilience is not a gift granted to a fortunate few. It is a choice strengthened one decision at a time. Inner strength is not discovered in comfort. It is revealed through persistence, compassion, humility, and unwavering faith in the possibility of tomorrow. So train your mind with patience, feed it with truth, guard it from unnecessary fear, fill it with gratitude, strengthen it through discipline, lift it with hope. Let your heart remember that no matter how fierce the storm becomes, there remains within you a quiet place that cannot be conquered. From that place, courage will rise. From that place, resilience will grow. From that place, you will discover again and again that you have always carried within yourself everything needed to overcome whatever life places before you. Build daily mental habits that create unshakable resilience, because the strongest minds are not formed in moments of crisis. They are shaped quietly, patiently, and consistently in the ordinary hours that most people overlook. Every sunrise presents a choice. Before the demands of the world begin pulling at your attention, your mind waits for direction. It waits to discover whether you will fill it with confidence or doubt, gratitude or complaint, hope or fear. The thoughts you repeat every day become the foundation beneath your life, and foundations are never built overnight. They are created one careful layer at a time until they become strong enough to carry the weight of every storm. Resilience is not a gift reserved for a fortunate few. It is a habit that grows through daily practice. It is found in the quiet decision to rise after disappointment, to remain kind after being misunderstood, to continue believing after experiencing failure. Every small choice strengthens your inner world. Every moment you refuse to surrender to negativity becomes another brick in the fortress of your character. Your mind is always listening to the words you speak, especially the words you whisper to yourself. If every challenge is met with thoughts of defeat, your spirit begins to believe that every obstacle is impossible. If every mistake becomes proof that you are not enough, your confidence slowly disappears beneath the weight of self-criticism. But when you choose words that encourage growth, patience, and possibility, your mind begins to search for solutions instead of excuses. It starts seeing opportunities where it once saw limitations. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is learning to pause before reacting. Life will always present unexpected situations. Some people will disappoint you. Some days will refuse to unfold according to your plans. Circumstances may tempt you to respond with anger, frustration, or hopelessness. Yet resilience grows strongest in the space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. That brief moment of awareness gives you the power to act with wisdom instead of impulse. Train yourself to begin each day with intention rather than anxiety. Before checking the opinions of others or allowing the noise of the world to fill your thoughts, spend a few quiet moments reminding yourself of who you are becoming. Fill your mind with thoughts that reflect courage instead of fear. Remind yourself that every new day is another opportunity to grow stronger than yesterday. These simple moments may seem small, but repeated consistently, they reshape the way you experience life. Gratitude is another daily habit that transforms resilience from an occasional response into a lasting way of living. Gratitude does not ignore pain, nor does it pretend that life is always easy. Instead, it teaches your mind to notice hope even in difficult seasons. A grateful heart remembers that challenges do not erase blessings. It understands that strength often grows alongside struggle, and that light can still be found even on the darkest paths. Protecting your thoughts is just as important as protecting your body. You naturally avoid things that could cause physical harm, yet many people allow constant negativity to enter their minds without question. Every conversation, every piece of information, every repeated belief leaves an impression. Ask yourself whether what you consume each day encourages wisdom, courage, and peace, or feeds fear, bitterness, and comparison. Your mind deserves nourishment that strengthens it rather than weakens it. Comparison quietly steals resilience because it convinces you that your journey should look like someone else's. It whispers that you are behind, that your progress is too slow, or that your efforts are not enough. But resilience grows when you honor your own path. Every person carries unique experiences, different lessons, and individual timing. The only meaningful comparison is between the person you were yesterday and the person you are becoming today. Another powerful habit is embracing discomfort instead of avoiding it. Growth rarely happens where everything feels familiar. Every new skill requires patience. Every meaningful dream demands persistence. Every worthwhile goal asks you to continue even when the excitement fades. The mind becomes resilient when it learns that temporary discomfort is not something to fear, but something to understand. Discomfort often signals that you are expanding beyond old limitations. Speak to yourself with the compassion you would offer someone you deeply care about. There will be moments when you fall short of your own expectations. There will be days when you feel tired, uncertain, or discouraged. Those moments do not define your worth. They simply remind you that you are human. Self-compassion is not weakness. It is the wisdom to recognize that lasting strength grows through patience rather than harsh judgment. Discipline is another quiet habit that builds extraordinary resilience. Motivation comes and goes, changing with emotions and circumstances. Discipline remains when excitement disappears. It teaches you to continue taking meaningful steps, even when you cannot immediately see the results. Great achievements are rarely created by occasional bursts of effort. They are built through countless ordinary decisions repeated faithfully over time. Learn to welcome mistakes as teachers instead of enemies. Every mistake reveals something valuable if you are willing to learn from it. It shows you where to improve, what to strengthen, and how to approach life with greater understanding. Fear of making mistakes keeps many people trapped in hesitation. Resilience grows when you understand that every experience, successful or difficult, contributes to your growth. Silence is another habit that strengthens the mind. In a world filled with constant noise, your thoughts need room to breathe. Moments of quiet reflection allow you to understand your emotions instead of becoming controlled by them. They give you the opportunity to examine your beliefs, recognize unhealthy patterns, and replace them with healthier ones. Wisdom often speaks softly, and only a quiet mind is able to hear it clearly. Forgiveness is one of the most freeing mental habits you can cultivate. Holding on to resentment drains energy that could be invested in healing and growth. Forgiveness does not mean approving harmful actions or pretending pain never existed. It means refusing to let yesterday's wounds control tomorrow's possibilities. Every time you release bitterness, You create more space for peace to grow within you. Celebrate small victories without waiting for extraordinary success. Every step forward matters. Every healthy choice matters. Every difficult conversation handled with grace matters. Every moment you choose courage over fear deserves recognition. Resilience is strengthened by acknowledging progress, no matter how small it appears. Tiny victories repeated consistently become remarkable transformations over time. Keep reminding yourself that your identity is greater than any temporary circumstance. Difficult seasons may influence your emotions, but they do not determine your value. Challenges may test your patience, but they cannot erase your potential. Every sunrise offers another opportunity to choose hope over despair, learning over regret, and courage over fear. The habits you practice each day slowly become the person you are becoming, shaping not only your thoughts but also your actions, your relationships, your character, and the quiet confidence with which you continue walking forward despite uncertainty. Trusting that every disciplined choice strengthens the foundation of a resilient mind. The quiet power of persistence is often overlooked because it rarely announces itself with dramatic moments or loud declarations. It does not demand applause, nor does it seek recognition from the world. Instead, it reveals its strength through steady footsteps taken day after day, especially when the path ahead is uncertain. While many people wait for perfect conditions before moving forward, persistence quietly chooses progress over perfection. It understands that every meaningful achievement is built not in a single extraordinary moment, but through countless ordinary decisions to keep going. Storms arrive in every life without invitation. Some storms come as disappointment, others as rejection, loss, failure, uncertainty, or unexpected change. No one escapes them entirely. Yet the difference between those who are defeated by life's hardships and those who emerge stronger often lies in one simple decision: the willingness to continue when stopping seems easier. Persistence does not erase difficulty. It teaches you how to walk through it with courage. The strongest trees are not those that have never faced fierce winds. They are the ones whose roots learned to grow deeper every time the storm tried to shake them. In much the same way, your character is strengthened every time you refuse to surrender to discouragement. Every obstacle invites you to discover a strength that comfort could never reveal. Every challenge asks you to become a little wiser, a little more patient, and a little more determined than you were before. Many people mistake persistence for endless energy or constant motivation. In reality, persistence often appears on the days when motivation has completely disappeared. It is choosing to take another step even when your emotions suggest giving up. Feelings change from one moment to another, but commitment remains faithful to the direction you have chosen. That quiet commitment becomes one of the greatest sources of personal strength because it teaches your mind that progress is possible even without perfect confidence. There will be moments when your efforts seem invisible. You may work tirelessly without immediate results. You may invest your heart into something that appears to grow far more slowly than you expected. During those seasons, it is easy to question whether your persistence has any value. Yet some of life's greatest transformations happen beneath the surface long before they become visible. A seed spends countless days developing unseen roots before anyone notices the first sign of growth above the ground. Hidden progress is still progress. Patience and persistence walk together. One teaches you to trust the process, while the other encourages you to continue participating in it. Together, they remind you that meaningful growth rarely follows the schedule you create in your mind. Some lessons require time because they shape not only your circumstances, but also your character. Every delay may be preparing you to carry future blessings with greater wisdom and humility. Due permittance also requires learning how to rise after disappointment without allowing disappointment to define your identity. Failure is not proof that you are incapable. It is evidence that you were willing to try something meaningful. Every setback contains valuable lessons hidden beneath temporary frustration. Those lessons become stepping stones when you choose to learn instead of surrender. The people who inspire the world are rarely those who never failed. They are the ones who refuse to let failure become their final destination. The quiet strength of persistence becomes especially important when no one else notices your efforts. There may be seasons when your hard work receives little recognition. Others may misunderstand your journey or question your choices. Some may even assume you are standing still, when in reality you are growing in ways that cannot yet be measured. During those moments, remember that your purpose is not dependent upon the approval of others. The value of your perseverance is not determined by applause, but by the person it is shaping you to become. Every morning offers another opportunity to practice persistence. It begins with simple choices: choosing hope instead of despair, choosing gratitude instead of complaint, choosing discipline instead of procrastination. These decisions may seem ordinary, but repeated consistently, they transform the way you experience life. Extraordinary resilience is often built through remarkably ordinary habits, practiced with unwavering commitment. One of the greatest obstacles to persistence is comparison. Looking at someone else's journey can make your own progress feel insignificant. You may wonder why others appear to move faster or achieve success more easily. Yet comparison blinds you to your own growth. Every life follows a different rhythm. Every path includes unique lessons. Measuring your progress against another person's story only distracts you from becoming the person you were created to be. Persistence flourishes when your attention remains focused on your own next step rather than someone else's destination. Your thoughts play a powerful role in sustaining persistence. The mind naturally repeats whatever it hears most often. If you constantly tell yourself that you are incapable, your actions will eventually begin to reflect those beliefs. But when you replace doubt with encouragement, your perspective begins to change. Speak words that strengthen your determination. Remind yourself that temporary struggles cannot erase permanent potential. Encourage yourself with the same kindness you would offer a close friend facing similar challenges. Resilient people understand that rest is not the same as quitting. There are seasons when you must pause, recover, and regain your strength. Rest renews your energy so that persistence can continue with greater wisdom. Quitting abandons the journey altogether. Learning the difference protects you from unnecessary guilt, while reminding you that caring for yourself is also part of long-term perseverance. Storms often reveal hidden strengths that calm seasons never uncover. Difficult circumstances force you to develop patience you never knew you possessed. They teach you compassion for others who are struggling. They deepen your appreciation for small victories. They reveal that your spirit can carry burdens far heavier than you once imagined. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to discover another layer of courage waiting quietly within you. Persistence is strengthened when you focus on what you can control, instead of becoming overwhelmed by what you cannot. You cannot always choose your circumstances, but you can choose your response. You cannot predict every outcome, but you can remain faithful to today's responsibilities. Direct your energy toward actions that move you forward rather than worries that leave you standing still. Hope becomes the companion of persistence because it keeps your vision alive during uncertain seasons. Hope reminds you that today's difficulty does not determine tomorrow's possibilities. It whispers that every sunrise brings another opportunity to begin again with renewed determination. Hope allows your heart to remain open even after disappointment. It encourages you to believe that your story is still unfolding, even when the next chapter remains hidden from view. Every challenge you overcome quietly changes the way you see yourself. You begin to trust your ability to endure hardship. You realize that fear no longer controls your decisions as completely as it once did. Confidence grows not because life becomes easier, but because you repeatedly prove to yourself that you can keep moving despite uncertainty. That confidence is earned through experience, one persistent step at a time. There is remarkable beauty in becoming someone who refuses to surrender to temporary defeat. Such strength is rarely loud. It does not need to convince others of its existence. It quietly appears each time you choose faith over fear, courage over comfort, learning over regret, and determination over despair. With every challenge you continue to face, your character becomes more deeply rooted. Your perspective becomes wiser. Your heart becomes more compassionate, and your spirit becomes increasingly unshakable, carrying within it the quiet certainty that no storm lasts forever, and that every faithful step forward is shaping a life defined not by obstacles, but by unwavering resilience and enduring hope. Become the person no challenge can defeat from within. Because the greatest battles in life are rarely fought in the world around you. They begin quietly in the landscape of your own mind. Before any obstacle tests your abilities, it tests your beliefs. Before any hardship measures your strength, it asks whether you still believe in your own ability to rise. This is why true resilience is never built by avoiding difficulties. It is built by strengthening your inner world until it becomes more powerful than any circumstance you may face. Life has a way of changing without warning. One day everything feels certain, and the next day the ground beneath your feet seems unfamiliar. Dreams may take longer than expected. Plans may fall apart. People you trusted may disappoint you. Opportunities may disappear just when you believed they were within reach. These moments can either convince you that you are powerless or remind you that your greatest strength has never depended on perfect conditions. It has always lived within your ability to adapt, to learn, and to keep moving with quiet determination. An undefeated spirit is not one that never experiences fear. Fear is a natural part of being human. Every person who has ever stepped into the unknown has felt uncertainty. The difference is that resilient people refuse to let fear become the author of their decisions. They acknowledge its presence without allowing it to control their direction. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to continue despite it. The conversations you have with yourself shape the person you become. If you constantly repeat that you are not capable, your actions will slowly begin to follow those beliefs. If you focus only on your failures, you will overlook the progress you have already made. But when you choose to remind yourself that every challenge carries an opportunity to grow, your perspective begins to change. Your mind starts searching for possibilities instead of limitations. Confidence grows one encouraging thought at a time. Protecting your inner peace is one of the greatest forms of strength. The world will always have distractions, criticism, and opinions waiting for your attention. Not every voice deserves a place in your heart. Not every judgment deserves your response. Some people speak from their own fears rather than your reality. Learning to separate your truth from the expectations of others allows you to walk with greater freedom. You do not have to carry every opinion you hear. You only need to remain faithful to the values that guide your own journey. There is quiet power in accepting that growth takes time. Many people become discouraged because they expect transformation to happen overnight. Yet lasting change is rarely dramatic. It is created through small decisions repeated with consistency. Every day you choose patience over frustration, discipline over excuses, and hope over despair, you strengthen your character. These choices may appear ordinary, but together they create an extraordinary foundation that cannot easily be shaken. Every setback has something valuable to teach you if you are willing to listen. Failure is not a final destination. It is often a classroom where wisdom is patiently waiting. Every mistake reveals another way to improve. Every disappointment teaches resilience. Every delay develops patience. When you begin seeing challenges as opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit, your relationship with adversity changes completely. There will be seasons when your progress feels invisible. You may wonder whether your efforts truly matter. During those moments, remember that many of the strongest foundations are built where no one can see them. Just as roots grow beneath the surface before a tree reaches toward the sky, your perseverance is strengthening parts of your character that will support every future success. Hidden growth is still growth, and quiet preparation often comes before remarkable breakthroughs. Choose gratitude even when life feels incomplete. Gratitude does not deny hardship. Instead, it reminds you that difficulty and hope can exist together. It teaches your heart to recognize blessings that remain even in challenging seasons. A grateful mind is less likely to become trapped by fear because it remembers that every new day brings another opportunity to begin again with fresh strength and renewed purpose. Forgive yourself for the moments when you did not know what you know now. Everyone makes decisions they later wish they could change. Carrying guilt forever only steals the energy needed to create a better future. Learn from yesterday without becoming imprisoned by it. Growth requires honesty, but it also requires compassion toward yourself. Every lesson you have learned has become part of the wisdom you carry today. Discipline becomes your greatest companion when motivation fades. Feelings are temporary, but commitment creates lasting progress. Continue taking meaningful steps even on the days when the journey feels difficult. Every act of consistency strengthens your confidence because it reminds you that your future is being shaped by today's choices rather than today's emotions. Become someone who refuses to measure success only by visible achievements. Real success also includes becoming kinder without becoming weaker, remaining hopeful without ignoring reality, staying humble while growing stronger, and protecting your peace without losing your compassion. These qualities create a life that cannot easily be shaken by changing circumstances because they are rooted in character rather than temporary outcomes. As your inner strength grows, you begin to realize that the greatest victory is not proving your worth to the world. The greatest victory is reaching a place where you no longer need the world's permission to believe in yourself. You stop allowing temporary failures to define your future. You stop allowing fear to silence your dreams. You stop allowing obstacles to convince you that your journey has ended, because you understand that the strongest person is not the one who never falls, but the one who continues rising with wisdom, courage, patience, and unwavering faith each time life calls them to begin again.